Well, let's further unpack this by welcoming now political analyst, Professor Ntsikelelo Breakfast. Professor, always great to have you with us. So this visit by the ANC in the Free State, what do you think really it's about? I mean, we've just spoken to our reporter there who is also saying that the myth or the usage of the word reconfiguration pertaining to that particular province is totally being dispelled by the ANC leadership in there.
Thank you very much, Alicia, for having me. I think it's an open secret that there have been some political challenges for the ANC in the Free State covering a longer period of time. And I think the first problem that contributed to the state of affairs was the tension between the Ramaphosa faction led by Mpolisi Dukwana and the Ace Magashula faction. But then the Ace Magashula faction in the beginning was weakened, which gave rise to Mpolisi Dukwana to be the premier. But I think it did not perform the way he should have. And also things got worse when he went through an interview which created a scope for the incumbent. But also she has been under siege, accused of all sorts of things, in particular when she was the MEC of Public Works. So I think that has created a scope then for the mother body to come down to Free State and to examine the state of affairs of the ANC, largely because, among other things, the ANC also did not do well in the elections. I think at the moment they stand at, 51%. And if they continue the way things are, they might lose power in Free State. But in the bigger scheme of things, there might be another covert reason for their visit, which is the fact that we have seen how Gauteng and KZN have been disbanded. And I think the likelihood is that this visit will also lead to the restructuring of the provincial leadership. So that will make those who have been arguing that there is a patch, not to have an argument to make, because you can't then say that you have been targeted when also Free State has been affected by the decision of the mother body.
And there was quite a lot of questions as to why the party is not holding itself to account nationally, Professor, because they lost the majority nationally. All right. So, look, if the party then wants to reconfigure or rebuild itself, whichever term they want to use, let's be robust. What is the best way for them to do this? Because it seems that the party's internal issues are actually playing out in full view of the country, as much as leadership will try have you believe that they are united. But branches don't seem to be aligned with what is being sold as unilateral agreements.
Of course, look, I mean, my view is that liberation movements in post-colonial states, normally they get hit or they tend to be affected mostly in urban centers, as it has been the case in our own backyard. If you look at where the ANC has been weakened, namely in urban centers. So that is not as surprising. But then because of the other factors within the ANC, which are linked to the upcoming NGC and the upcoming conference of the ANC, I think the Ramaphosa faction will like to continue with its agenda of entrenching hegemony within the party by sidelining those who don't speak the same language with them. So the argument I'm making, I don't think that the decision to disband, the provinces was done in good faith. I think there's more to it than meet the eye.
And that's just the thing, right, Professor? Because how are you preaching unity and renewal when your factional battles still continue? I mean, we're heading to the local government elections next year. South Africans are struggling day to day with long ongoing service delivery challenges, unemployment, the constant deteriorating state of some municipalities, high crime levels, and many more are all being blamed on the ANC and its leadership. Can they dig themselves out of this discontent just in time to pull an ace for next year's local government elections, you think?
Well, I think that is everyone's guess. But my view is that even the ANC appreciates this point, that there is a strong nexus between voter turnout and service delivery. So if you don't render services, it doesn't matter what you do, you will fall short of garnering votes. So the only way out of this quagmire that the ANC finds itself in is to improve, the services that are given to the people. And I am afraid that time is against them, because elections will be held soon at local government level. And it will be unfortunate for them not to do well at local government, because normally, even previously, before the general elections, they were dealt with a blow in a big way at local government level. So local government level is normally the precursor for the general elections. And if they don't do well at local government level, my prediction is that they will do worse again in the general elections.
And why they're not doing well within, of course, in their local or provincial structures, Professor. Let's talk about these, because I understand the issue of nationally, or I suppose in each region where they are the leaders or the majority, they have to deliver services. But if branches are also not happy about what is currently happening in terms of leadership issues, it then just it becomes a huge problem for the party to try and work around this.
I've always said this, that the romanticism of the past, the glorification of history, I think those are the things of the past. There is a new crop of voters that we have in this country, namely young people. You spoke about challenges that are facing the people of this country: inequality, poverty, the list is endless. And young people bear the worst brand in terms of all these social ills. So they want to know what's in it for us. So if the ANC then wants to reach out to them, it will have to perform, unfortunately. And it has not been able to do that. And the other thing that also compounds the situation, the fact that when ANC-led municipalities, provincial governments, when they make appointments, they don't choose the best of the best, and that is seen by almost everyone. And with that kind of thinking, I don't think that they'll be able to have an upward electoral trend.
Professor, thank you so much for your input this afternoon. Professor Ntsikelelo Breakfast is a political analyst. They're weighing in on the ANC visiting the Free State there to diagnose some problems that led to the party's decline in last year's general elections.